A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we connect with you on A to Y.
Good evening,
Adi,
Yasas.
good evening, good evening. I'm sorry, I can't help laughing. When the countdown happened, it reminded me of what you said about your wife.
Yeah. By the way, we were actually planning to meet and do it. So physically, now you are here in Sri Lanka for almost 2 months, and we
One and a
never
half.
had the chance to sit together and do this.
That
How
is
are you
true. That is
feeling?
true. I mean, we've been meeting, but not on Thursdays, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Anyway, so once again, we are connecting with all our live viewers on A to Y with another interesting topic. If you are connected, we can see some of you are connected. Say hi, drop a message on the comment section, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, and we would like to say hi to you. So, Aziz, let's jump into today's topic. I think it's a very interesting topic because already we've got people messaging us, and kind of people are intrigued about this, right?
Yeah. In fact,
You,
the topic itself is a very timely and as well as very intriguing topic, I would say.
Of course, of course. But we will not be able to go deep today. We will just touch the surface, scratch the surface, rather than share our experience of how crazy it has become and how disappointing it has become, right? And then with some recommendations, maybe move on to what we feel about
Yeah.
it. But please, as a viewer, as a listener, if you're connected, type in your comments. Let us know what you feel, whether you agree, whether you disagree, whether you have any other recommendation. Please go ahead and let me know. By the way, is that a 1 minute motivation mug?
No, it's actually a Spider-Man mug.
Okay.
I can't help. I'm having my cup of tea. I need my tea.
Sri Lankan tea.
I
So
know.
let's jump into today's topic, Kasi. And it is about outreach via LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Asi, as you said, this is a timely topic. Why do you think it's timely?
Oh my God! Like talking about LinkedIn and digital, I would say just forget about LinkedIn. Reaching out to clients is one of the biggest challenge most of us are having. Like
Hmm.
even for us, connecting with the ideal customers, identifying who they are, what are their likings, and where do they go. All that the ethical hacking, I would say. All that now is you have absolutely have an awesome platform, a professional platform for you to see is LinkedIn. And through LinkedIn, how many messages that we get every single day, right? And certain instance we respond, certain instance we don't. And I
Exactly.
would say, in my personal opinion, yes, as LinkedIn is the currently the best platform to do the outreach for your client to find the right customers for you to sell your product or services. That's why I said
Definitely,
it's
Aziz.
timely.
Definitely, but again, I feel it's very badly used, wrongly used. So that's our attempt today. Our attempt today is to talk about how wrongly it is used and how you should probably use it. Because
Hmm.
if we start using it in a very bad way, improper way, I think even for the people who want to really be outreach, that platform is going to fail. So
Correct.
let's jump into our slides. Aziz, so one of the most common ways, and I just took this from few messages, few connection requests I got. Let
Yeah.
me add the slides in because let me know if you don't see the slides because I'm switching between and I might not really notice if it's missing. So
Yeah.
connection
I can.
requests, Aziz. Tell me how many connection requests you get and how many connection requests do you get with a message that is selling something to you?
I would say 98% messages that I personally get is personally related to selling something or promoting something, a product or services.
Same with me. Same with me. So as you can see, Azi, this is just three recent messages that I got. One was in fact a sponsored message where if I put ourselves onto the side on the screen, you would
Yeah.
see three different messages. First one thing, I'm a WordPress developer, um, email and social media marketer, graphics designer, uh, all in one guy. Thank you for considering me. I didn't even consider him. Open to new opportunities. Check my work and client reviews on Upwork. So this is a freelancers on Upwork who's sending a connection request with these messages. Other person was saying, I'm exploring possible synergies with like-minded professionals. By the way, I represent blah 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 company, the trusted design partner for small businesses, startups, Fortune 500 brands, and I appreciate the opportunity to discuss possible design needs. So there's no requirement to be a friend or connect with me. It's more on seeing how we can do business or how she can do business, he can do business. Next is, hi Asas, would be great to connect. We blah 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 company offering state of the so on and so forth. So Azi, we get bombarded with this kind of connection request and messages that comes through the connection request. The moment you accept, boom, the message comes into you. Again, a very important form of connection. If you remember, Azi, long time, you couldn't send connection requests to people if they're not even a mutual friend, like if they are not second degrees and if they don't know you. You need remember those days. You need to say, how did you know this person? And that's the only way you could get even connected to a person. LinkedIn went more open because when they felt like it's not growing, they allow you to send a connection request unless it's a professional account, which is a paid account that prevents people from sending requests. LinkedIn opened up, and with that we started getting so many connection requests with these kind of messages. So one example, let's go into the next example, and then we'll go into what is wrong and why we should probably not do this. So next one, these are in-mails get through StreamYard. Sorry, it's through LinkedIn. And as you can see, yes, sorry, I was switching between a platform and the word came out. So I just copied 4 messages, and after doing the slides again, I see there were 2 messages that popped up. I felt like I should have copied them in. Let's go through these messages so everybody would understand. And I'm sure all of you can relate to this. Number 1, hire dedicated resources remote. This is the subject. Are you looking to hire dedicated resources remotely? We at blah 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 company have a pool of talent having expertise in below tech stacks, and it goes on. Mean, Mern, Flutter, React Native developers, whatever. Next one, dear Asas, it's wonderful to have the opportunity to connect with you as you are a co-founder of my company. I would like to discuss a little bit of personalization there. Discuss our 3-in-1 company and personal growth management solution with you, which includes a comprehensive set of 21 deliverables, including lead generation, engagement management, content management. I know all of us would be sleeping by this.
Yeah.
Same with the next one. Excited share with you how top hospitality marketplace with key achievements such as building high-tech product architecture, B2B, B2C platform altogether, integrating with major hotel chains and own payment platform, so on and so forth. Next one. Hey Asas, I'm delighted to connect. This is after I accepted the connection. I'm representing a team of bright-minded designers at by operating as an extension, blah blah blah. Tell me, Asi, is this different to the type of messages you get, or do you get similar messages?
Most of the time it's similar messages, yes. And all these messages are not relevant for me. Plus, it's not giving me any indication, intriguing me to connect with that individual.
I'm sure
that's my personal
just
opinion.
by me reading these messages, probably we would have also lost some viewers on this A2I, because it's so boring, it's so long, it's not relevant, right? Why are they even doing this? Now let's go in the next slide and let's discuss this. Now, what is going wrong with this outreach method, Ajay, is, as we discussed, first of all, do we even know each other? The people who send these messages, do we know them? Are they even putting an attempt to know us, right? because there's no relevance. We don't understand them. Okay, is the prospect having a need? Like in this case, am I having a need in what they said about remote developers in MERN stack, mean stack, um, the services they're talking about, IT services? Are they even looking at whether I might be a possible prospect? Am I an ideal customer profile? I don't think so. Definitely, it's not relevant.
Yeah.
And they are selling here. They are not trying to connect with me. They are selling. They are point blankly selling. It's just like those sales guys you find in by the roadside, or who taps on your door, the door-to-door salesman who says, "Hey, I have this wonderful mosquito bracket or whatever," and then trying to push something that is not relevant, and you can't get out of those guys. The
Correct.
common example in the marketing world is the insurance sales guy who tries to
Mm.
sell you an insurance package that you're not interested in. It is the same example that's happening digital. Now, in my opinion, it's an utter failure because you're sending messages. Either you're trying to please your boss, your CRM system, your database. This is the inside sales team who see that, who are given a target of outreaching to maybe 100 people a day or 50 people a day. God knows what that number is. So they're sending messages. They're finding me, you, whoever, because of the location or because of the country or because of some keyword that is there in our profile, right? And they're just tapping the door, throwing stones out there, expecting it to hit one or two birds, right? So this is an utter failure. Who on earth is interested in this type of thing? Tell me, Azi, at least once in your life, have you ever responded to these messages?
Very rarely, yes, yes. I real even even I don't bother to read it honestly. I mean, whatever we are sharing is our personal opinion. Someone else might have a different opinion, but personally, I don't even go bother reading these messages and replying them.
Exactly, Azi. So even from my side, there were several times that I messaged these people out of courtesy saying, "Hey, dude, you're doing it wrong. This is not the way to outreach." And guess what? They don't reply.
Hmm.
They're not even interested to know. They're not even asking why. They probably think I'm some big-headed person who's trying to undermine their effort,
Yeah.
but they are not listening. They are not even open to ask why. Because if they probably take that my opinion, maybe it matters to them, maybe it doesn't. It might have helped them to think how they're going to outreach the next person,
Sure.
right? So let's jump into how we should do this. What is the recommendation by us to improve the way that they're doing things? Number one, Nazir, they should spend time to get to know the person they're outreaching.
Hmm.
Right? They should find out whether Yasas or Asi that they're messaging is the ideal customer profile. How would they know this, Asi?
Obviously they will have to do. I'm using the word the ethical hacking. I don't know whether there's a word like that exists, but we are using the ethical hacking word. So ethical hacking is basically you are uh, sorry, apology, it's not hacking, ethical stalking. Ethical stalking.
Okay. That's why I was wondering for a moment, what are you, where are you going? Am I learning something new that Asi is going to say something new here that I don't know about? Yeah, so it's
You,
stalking.
yeah.
Stalking is the perfect word. Like, let's take that same example, Asi. Brilliant
Yeah.
example. And I think we love taking this example because everybody can relate to it, except few boring people like me. Uh, if you are stalking, what do you do? If you are interested in a person, of course, okay, let's take the same example. Let's go back 20 years, right? For us. And for the youngsters who are probably doing it in more digital way today. If you find someone of the opposite sex or same sex, if you're interested, what do you do first? How do you get to know that person, right? You would stalk them. You would look at their social media. You would want to know what they like, what are their interests, what do they follow, do they like the same kind of food, movies, books. If you're reading books, you would need to know something, right? So you would follow them, you would see them. And today in social media, you don't need to be restricted to LinkedIn. you can look at them in many ways, and we are not going to talk about that because that's a topic on its own. Second, in real life, you would want someone to introduce you, right? Like last week, I went into this week, Aziz. Both of us went into a particular organization for something of my requirement, and then they said, "Look, there's a new recruit in this company who came from this organization and might be interested, might be able to help you on the matter that I went." The first thing I said is, "Hey, can you please introduce that person?" Right? So this is how in real life naturally we do it. We would say, "Hey, can you introduce that person to me?" Say you go on out, you're in a party, you see someone interesting. What do? You say, "Hey, can you introduce that person to me?" And how do you do this? You can do that easily on LinkedIn. Let's go into that later. Start engaging with that person next. That's the first thing you do, right, Razik? You say, "Hey, my name is Yasas. I work for Hash33. This is what I do. Where are you from?" Right? Before you even talk about yourself, you would say, I really like, the way you're dressed, or I like, what you were talking about. If they were talking with someone else, I like this. You try to get in good terms first. You try to engage with them, right? So you would probably give a thumbs up on digital screen. You would put a like. You would comment on something. You would appreciate something, right? Not in a fake way. Now we are not talking about fake stalking, like trying to go after 4 or 5 people thinking that one of them will work. No, we are talking, as Aziz said, ethically. You need to be genuinely interested. You need to find out whether this person is your ideal customer profile. Even if not, have a genuine interest to engage with that person. Then, of course, we need to go into the important thing to find out what their problem is, or understand how we can help them. If you're trying to date, you need to figure out, okay, do they have an interest, or does this person have an interest in a person like me? So you would kind of ask this typical questions: what sort of movies do you watch? What do you do in your free time? Do you do this kind of stuff? What do you do when you're having free time? Right? Because that would make you feel like, yes, we have similar interests. We like the same food. We watch the same movies. We read the same books. We hate the same people. Right? You need to understand what are the mutual ideas. So same thing, you need to understand your prospects' interests. Are they like, they may say, "Yes, I'm attached with this company. This is the industry," but maybe that person is planning to leave. Maybe that person is not really doing the job anymore. They haven't updated their LinkedIn profile. Right? Maybe they've just gone into a new solution and you're not even required for them anymore. Or maybe they really have the same requirement that you're trying to pitch in. So you need to understand the problem. So let's go back to point 2. On LinkedIn, if you have a mutual friend, on LinkedIn you can see how many friends away you are, right? Whether you have whether you're 1 degree away, or 2 degrees away, or 3 degrees away, right? Depending on the connection. And you can say, if Asi example is connected to that person, I can say, "Azi, can you introduce me?" And there's an option where you can kind of send a message introducing the other person. Use this, right? Try to get closer to that person. Of course, if it's a CEO, CIO, a CTO, CMO that you're trying to approach, maybe you should not burn the bridge by sending a connection request straight away, because if they don't accept you, you can withdraw it, but there's a particular time period that you have to wait before you send another message. So get closer. You don't send the message in old terms, a love letter to the person that you think that you like the first time, right? Because if it's thrown, you're closing your gate. First, what you do is you find who the friends are, and you get close to the friends, because even if a friend rejects you, that's okay, because then you can go to another friend and another friend. You don't burn the bridges. And you get your friend to talk good about you. You get your friend to talk about you, why you might be the ideal person, or why the prospect would find interest in you. Same theory. Same theory. What you do in real life, you do the same thing. Figure out the natural, because we are humans. though we've evolved, our emotions work the same way, our interests work the same way. So play on those. Use the same thing that you'll do in real life when you come into digital. This is the effective way we've seen, and that has worked for us on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Asi, do you want to add something? Sorry, I've been talking and talking. Anything you want to do?
No, that's
You want to
perfect.
say?
You're right. I just wanted to add one point, which is this required a lot of this required time. It's actually consuming a lot of time. It's required discipline. It's required patience, because you can't just drop him a message or speak to someone that you know and get connected with that individual. So what we are sharing here is a sort of a framework which work for us. Maybe
Exactly.
maybe if you connect with us individually, maybe we can give you the right framework and guide you how actually step by step guidance, how you can actually reach out to the respective individual, and trust us, because the framework that that we are sharing here with you is working framework. It's a working framework. We can give you some samples probably next week as well, isn't it? Yes, Asa?
Probably we can, now without going into detail, we can drop some hints, some tips, but connect with us, because just a reminder, tomorrow, Azi, we are doing the first digital strategist workshop, and then on Sunday we are doing the second workshop. So we've got good response. As I said, it's limited. So we got small batches because we want to have hands-on. We want to spend more time. We need to do things. So
Right.
even on this sales approach, outreach approach, if there's anyone who's interested, reach us, and maybe we can do maybe a virtual, if you're in Sri Lanka, maybe a physical workshop, and we can do that. But if you are interested, if you think this is common sense, but that's not so common, and maybe we need A to I help, please outreach to us. We are open for discussion, and we can help you by sharing our knowledge.
Right.
So I think, as we've taken 22 minutes, we should end today's episode with that. Any closing remarks before we close off?
Yes, friends, viewers, Romans, countrymen, everyone. So whatever we are sharing is purely our experience, and you have the liberty to disagree or agree or work with us connectly. So please do join with us next week as well. So we will be continuing the session, the part 2 next week, where we will have a good and beautiful learning experience. That's something that we
Definitely.
can promise you and give you.
So with that, we end today's edition, which is the 21st episode of A to Y. See you next week at 6:30 Sri Lanka time or 5 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. I'm Yasa signing off.
And I'm Asi signing off. See you guys.
Have a nice week.